Hi all, welcome to our webinar today presented by Verdantix and Cordy. We are excited to delve into the topic around Unite us.
Yeah, thank you very much. All doom and gloom. This reflects weaker ambition, but it reflects kind of more of an awareness of the scale and the work ahead and what firms actually need to achieve these targets. And then if we look on the left-hand side as well, we can kind of further support this idea where just 1 in 8 leaders report reducing or delaying or walking back their climate targets. And that's kind of, I guess, almost a far cry from the idea that net zero targets are dead in the water. Challenges to data quality. So key pain points like supply chain dependencies, building a business case for decarbonisation, even cost pressures, they're all challenges that require a solid data architecture and can be mitigated or at least can help reduce the burden of these problems when you actually kind of think about the data that goes into them. And really what we're seeing is that that data can help create more of a common structure almost. It reduces the need for manual tasks and really improves that accuracy. And so, yeah, okay, we'll see those external pressures continue and that those are kind of big important topics. But when we look at those internal issues, we can really think about that strong data foundation, which is really important for firms. So I just wanted to build on that idea a little bit with quite a basic framework, but one that I think illustrates the idea quite nicely of how operational data helps to build out better decisions throughout firms and really helps them to achieve their goals. So here, what we're trying to illustrate is that operational emissions data is really the foundation for all decarbonisation work. It sits at the base of every layer that comes above that, be that kind of reporting, think about the data that goes into kind of any action that you take. And so and really what we're seeing is that that data can help and accurate create more of a common structure almost. It reduces the need for manual tasks and it really improves that accuracy. And so, yeah, okay, we'll see those external pressures continue and that those are kind of big important topics. But when we look at those internal issues, we can really think about that strong data foundation, which is really important for firms.
I want to give you an overly simplistic, simple model. It's like a checklist. It's like, okay, I want to change my body. I want to change my relationship. Where do you start? The first step on your path is what do you really want and why do you want it? Clarity is power. If you know what you really want and why you want it, that's different than the earlier conversation, which is telling me what you didn't want. You make no progress focused on what you don't want. So you have to start with what do I really want, and most importantly, the fuel is why you want it. And
human being while on the uh, this stage, this um, pilot stage, right? So let us stop here and see my granddaughter coming. ମାଉଟା ମାଉ ବୁଢୀଟା କଣ ଗୋଟେ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି? ମାଉ କଣ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି ଗୋଟେ? ମାଉ ମାଉ କଣ ପିନ୍ଧି ଦେଇଛି? ଅଧା ଦିଶୁଛି ମୁହଁଟା, କୁଆଡେ ଯାଇଛି? ଏଠି 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 ବୁଲୁଛି। ଇ କରୁଛି କିରେ? ଏଇ ବୁଢୀ ଆଉ 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 ବୁଢୀ, ଇଏ ବୁଢୀ ବୁଢୀଟା ଆଉ ଆଉ ହେ ମା ଆଉ ସେଟା ବତକ ତକ ତକ ମାନେ କଣ ସେମିତି ଆଉ ଆଉ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ହଁ? ବନେଇକି ଦେଲେ। ହଁ? କଣ କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ? କଣ କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି ମା? କଣ କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି ଗୋ? ହେଁ କଣ କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ? ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଓ ଆମର ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ରେଡ ହାର୍ଟ ଅଛି କି ମା? ଆମର ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ରେଡ ହାର୍ଟ ଅଛି କି? ରେଡ ହାର୍ଟ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ ଆ 아, 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 Uh, uh, ah, ah, oh, oh, ମାନଙ୍କର ସବୁ ଥାଏ କିଛି ନା କିଛି କିଏ କିଏ କହିଥାନ୍ତି ଶୁଣିକିରି ସେ ରଖିଥାନ୍ତି କି ଯେ କଣ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହୁଏ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିକାଲି ଆଗକୁ ଯାଇକିରି କଣ ନାଇଁ କଣ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହୁଏ all are psychological ହୁଁ। ଆମେ sensitive to sounds ଥଣ୍ଡା ଲାଗୁଛି କି ମା କାନଟା ଘୋଡେଇବା ଟିକେ କଣ ହେଇଛି କୋଉଠି ଗୋଟେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଗଲୁ ନା କଣ ଆଚ୍ଛା ବସ୍ କୁ ୱେଟ୍ କରୁଛୁ दाली दाली दुली दुली ରହୁଛି କି Okay, that was my granddaughter, and I love talking to her. And her mother, my daughter, is taking her to a nearby so that they have a celebration on Saturday, and she needs some new dress and some accessories and some sundry items also for that celebration. We do a puja, which is called worship, and it is a ritual. She will be having her first rice, and she will be from then on she will continue to have rice meals. So that is why she is going to mm, buy few things. So I was speaking to her, and she actually heard herself. She made herself sleep by doing those sounds. And now she already she is asleep, and they're about to board a bus. And so that is why bus. Yeah. So now I'm free to do my bit. So why do I choose ocean cities? Because that will be a safe place. There will be ample space to do my waste management. And while I am doing that in the ocean space, I will also do some agriculture with whatever composting thing that I'll do. If not, then those compost can be fish feed. So that is my why. And from that, what am I trying to, how it will help me? As I said, that will be for the time being, I'll say that is my creative energy redirected towards that. Let us go further and hear what Tony says.
You have to have strong enough reasons to actually follow through when it gets uncomfortable, because it's going to get uncomfortable. And that's the first step. If you set up,
Ah, yes. So it will be uncomfortable while you were asking the why. So far, the uncomfortable thing has come to me that I don't in particular know what is there. There is a disconnect between my idea of living on a hilltop terrace to in contrast to the ocean living that I am kind of talking here. So there is some kind of saying that I'd be bored living at one place, although I love being at one place for endlessly. But suppose I get bored, then I should have a place to go where I'll see something being created. I would love something being created for the use of the planet. So that is my why as of now. Let us see.
I want something and you can't tell me what you want, that's where we need to start. He said, I don't know. Okay, great. Here, I'll help you. I don't know what I want in my business. I don't want anyone for a profession. I don't know what I want for a relationship now. Great. If you really don't know, let's try this. Let's describe the job from hell, the job you'd never want. Describe the relationship from hell, everything you'd never want in a relationship. And you know what happened? There's an energy in upset and anger. And when people start writing with that energy, they get flow. Most people can tell you the problem, plenty of detail, just like she did. And then when they write it all down what they don't want, then I say, okay, now look at that piece of paper and write the opposite, and you have the job from heaven.
So the opposite. So what is the worst thing that will happen? Actually, in the ocean, the worst thing that I don't want is the loneliness. I would love to be amongst people, although sometimes I would love being solitary. And in the all the way it is water, then that is just boring. Water in itself is very playful, very living, close to the shore long. If I'm there for long, then I would actually I would love to uh, kind of in the company of people with whom I can share something. But who those people will be, who will constantly challenge my creative energy. So I won't like that loneliness. Being alone with nothing in around to be triggered, except for the work that I am doing. So now, how intimately I am involved in the work, which will uh, keep me engaged day in and day out. So, will it be a never ending thing? I'll be living in the ocean city forever, or can I detail more about the ocean city? I'm talking about ocean city. It is not just a little piece of area that I'll be creating. It will be a huge area. So it also is an area where I can grow vegetables. I can actually do agriculture. That is what I am visualizing about. So there will be enough for me to watch and observe. If it is 1 kilometer long, that will be enough. That is how much I can see at one point of time, right? And 1 kilometer area, which is kind of 100 acres, is a great. That is one island, right? That will be an island, and Ocean City will be an island where we'll grow vegetables. There will be, of course, if I'm a colony of people who will be taking care of that. So I'll not be alone. So I cannot think of the negative things that I'll be doing apart from being tired of being at the same place. So that is it. And whoever is watching this video, what do you think will in that scenario? What will be your life like? Let us watch Tony again.
You have the relationship from heaven. So we can get you there. If you don't know what to do, get up in your body, change your state, and you'll know what it is. The reason you don't know is you keep saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, which conditions you not to know. It literally blinds you. So that's the first step in anything. And if you're unclear, we're all going to go, if they're not on the path, first step to the path, do they know what they want and why they want it with clarity? Is it strong enough? If it is, they're on the path. If they're not, you're not even on the path.
You heard that, right? So the first step is if you are clear as to why you should be there and it is strong enough, then you are on the path. So my question is, oh, do I at all want to be out of this place where I am living? It's a beautiful place for me, a very peaceful, calm place for me. Do I at all think of getting out of this space to go to that hilltop space which I fancy I would have? Maybe it will be my property, but it is not something that where I would be living forever. Because if places where I'll be living for say 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, those places are not where I'll be building my life around. So if it is such a space in ocean cities as well, and also I need to have this escape route as well. From the ocean city, I am not sure how quickly I can escape that place and come back to the mainland. And why do I look forward to coming back to my thing, my place? That also I am not very sure, because water feels like some danger. And I actually don't know water, the storms, the cyclones, the earth moving from one place to another, the uncertainty of life.
Second step. And by the way, there's 7, but the first 4 are the most important. The others just give you momentum. The second one is you got to find and face the truth. Because the truth will set you free. What does that mean? You got to be clear and honest about where you really are compared to where you want to be. How many of you have some areas of your life where you are not where you want to be? How many some areas where you're actually doing great? You're proud of where you are in that area of your life. The only way you improve once you know what you want and why you want it is to tell yourself the truth about why you're there. In other words, describe the gap with clarity. Where are you compared to where you want to be? And then the second part of that is you got to close the gap. In order to do that, you got to get clear what's gotten in the way in the past. And that's basically what I did with each of these people I was just talking to, if you listened. What's gotten in the way? It's a fear.
So why, what is the life of dream and what is the life that I have left behind? Right now I am living uh, my life of dream. It is only that the income thing is there where I need to have these multiple sources of income. And one of the sources of income is to employ lot many people giving their livelihoods. And how do I earn from their income? I'm not sure. Maybe that will be the trigger of a very topsy-turvy life. Do I want that? I, of course, won't want that kind of thing, lots of topsy-turvy thing. Rather, what I want is enjoying the bliss of having an empire, which is not physical, it is just virtual, but it is real for me. It is producing money for me. That is the thing that I have in mind. So when I say whether I am on the right track or not, you will tell. I'll be hearing that. So I become irrespective of those people who are there around and do my own thing. Let us hear Tony out. What is his?
It's an emotion, or it's a limiting belief, and that belief is made up of language, physiology, and focus. In case you haven't noticed, they're all made up of those three things. So we could change any of those and change the belief. Or is it a skill you're missing? You know, like you manage your finances, but you don't have any skills in there. You don't know how to invest. You don't know the basic principles. So the way you face the truth that'll set you free is you figure out what stopped you in the past. And it's
So it is about facing the truth. What's stopped me in the past? Nothing has stopped as yet. But I have not been able to diversify my income. That is the truth. The skill missing? Of course, I am learning that skill. I am learning that skill. I am experimenting. And let us see how far I go.
only a few things. It's a set of emotions, a set of beliefs, or a set of habits or skills you're missing. And I'll tell you, 90%, at least 80% of the time, it's the mental and emotions. Because if you have the right beliefs and emotions, you can get the skill. And if you tell yourself the truth there, now you're really on the path. Now you got momentum. Then what's the third step? Improve your business, your finance thing. You resolve and create a map. A map is a massive action plan. And you don't wait till you know the perfect thing to do. You just simply sit down and say, okay, what's worth trying? What can I do right now? Not I'm going to wait, spend 20 days to come up with a map. No. This is a massive action plan. What I'm going to do now? What are all the ways I can get to the result I want? You brainstorm them all. And you're not going to do all those things. So you're going to come back and say, what are the 20% of these things that'll give me 80% of the progress? And those are the things you go do. And you do one of those immediately. You don't wait. You don't wait till it's perfect. And by the way, if it doesn't work, what do? Try something else. If that doesn't work, what do? How many times do you change till you get what you want? You heard me share this with you before. How long do you give your average baby to learn how to walk? before you shut them off and go, dude, you're not a walker. What are you, crazy? My kid's gonna keep trying till they walk. That's why almost everybody walks. We need just a quick map.
Wow. So sometimes if you fail repeatedly, do you stop? A baby who is learning to walk, do you stop because they are failing? So that is the motivation out there. Let us see what map motivation, action, and what is there in P? Let us find out.
Quick piece. What are 3 things you're gonna do? And I'll say that to many of you afterwards. Tell me 2 or 3 things you're gonna do out of this, so I know you're gonna take not just the understanding what's stopping you, but you know what to do. And then the 4th one, these first 4 are the majority of it. You got to do what's hard. That's what everybody tries to avoid. You got to slay your dragons. So the dragon, hers is fear. It's not.
So you have to kill your dragons. I still do not get what is the map, motivation, action, and plan. Maybe the plan for executing something, which is very hard. And that is a fear. Let us see.
Not even her husband, it's fear. Her dragon is she wants all of her love to come from her daughter because it's safe love. If she had other forms of love in her life, she wouldn't be in this fearful place, right? So she needs to slay her giant. She needs to change what needs to be changed. It's a belief, it's an emotion, it's a pattern, it's a habit. It's all it is. And we're going to do that this week. Or you go get the skills that are necessary. You do the hard work. Again, why does Steph Curry make shots from half court make it look effortless? Because he's done it 2.5 million times. But all the shots he's ever taken in his career is only 16,000. And he's made only 3,000 of those, and he's the greatest shooter in the history of the game. That's what it means to do the hard work. If you're not doing the hard work, you're not going to get the result. It's not enough you know what you want. It's not enough that you know what stopped you or you got a good plan. You got to do that plan. You got to go make it. You got to get the result. And when you slay the dragon, you will transform. And the dragon is almost always an emotion or a limiting belief. Now all you did, you go to step 5. You want to keep the momentum, you need a daily practice so that now there's something you do every day that keeps you moving forward. Some kind of daily practice that'll guarantee progress. Progress will lead to what you want. And then 6, once you do that, you just need to keep raising the standard a little bit. Get a little better, demand a little more. And by the way, you can only do that if you measure things. If you're in business, if you don't measure it, you're not managing it. If I take over a company, I got 111 companies now. How can you run 111 companies? Because I go in those companies, I figure out what are the most important things, and I measure them more often. It's the first thing I do. Some people measure things once a year, so they have bad years. If I only measure once a month, I'm going to do 12 times better. I got 12 times to improve it instead of 1. You might have bad months, but you're not going to have a bad year. If I measure it weekly, you're not going to have a bad month. If I measure it daily, you won't have many bad weeks. Some things, when I first take over a company, I'll measure them 3 times a day. And where focus goes, energy what? So you have to measure what's going on. Am I making progress? And then raise the standard. I expect a little bit more from myself. And then the 7th step, you're there. The 7th step in all this is really simple. You're on your path. Flip it up there for everybody. But now what you're going to do is you want to celebrate it, right? Life's a gift, so you want to celebrate and you want to appreciate where you are. Because otherwise you're always trying to do something. It's good to stop and celebrate because the brain goes, it was worth it. And if it's worth it and I'm celebrated and I build on success, guess what the end of the step is? You're going to pick what's the next level. You'll start this again. What do I want now? Isn't that cool? Oh, what's preventing me from getting that level? Okay, what's some quick actions I could do that? All right, what dragons do I need to slay? And what I'm going to do? What skill? Okay, all right, daily practice. Keep measuring it. Win again. This is how you do it with anything. How many of you have an area you've done really well within your life, an area you're proud of? This is the game for anything. So if I want to know whether I'm on the path or not, and I don't even know what I want, I'm not even on the path yet. I start there. If I know what I want, why I want it, great. What's the next thing? Let me figure out the truth. What's the gap? What's kept me from where I am? What's gotten the way in the past that I need to handle? Okay, let me create a correct map. All right, let me go slay that dragon. Let me get some daily practice. Let me keep raising the standard. Let me win again. This is what I do in all the areas of my life. And it's so simple. So it's in your relationship, that's true. If you go, I don't have the relationship I want. Well, I got to start with, what do you really want?
Okay, so let us stop there. Now let us come back to my PPT. Can I find my PPT here? Let me see. Let me share and see whether it is showing. Does my PPT show? Let us try where it is. Let's try this. It is not the PPT. Okay. Try sharing. It is not the one. Oh, it is here. Okay. Now, whatever so far we have studied, let me go to the screen. First string is it from silos to system. Let me see if we can make this screen. F5. 5. Yes, it works. So we have been speaking about singular lone leadership to strategic leadership. So lone leadership is you are doing all the things your own. You have a very systematic to-do list and your way, very efficient way to execute work. But all the tasks that you are having part of the vision cannot be done all by yourself. But how the people surrounding you can help you, or can you leverage the resources that you have to your advantage? That is what strategic leadership is. Otherwise, people will feel like being used. So the operations, people will say, I handle operations, I reduce costs, I manage processes. Professionals in execution make their see problems as isolation, not as part of a larger system. Now that is the thing. So far, I have spoken to so many mid-career professionals. All of them are doing their work in silo. They are either working as senior people or working as part of the team. When they are working as part of the team, they, they are working in silo mostly. And they think that is their portfolio and they are going to kind of protect that portfolio so that it is not being snatched from him. So believe or not, I have been a victim of this mindset. And so the strategic teamwork happened very late for me. So if you are that person who is doing great work in silo, that is perfectly all right, but your dream is not going to be achieved in that. Like having your own company, your own setup won't do the trick. Seeing problems in isolation, not as part of a larger system, is the weakness. The future is solved through systems, not silos. So strategic, how can you bring about strategic leadership? Is through systems. Otherwise, mere direction will not work. That is very interesting observation. The future is solved by following systems, not in silo. So the task executor has a to-do list, solves individual problems, isolated, and is very reactive, where he is very insecure about his portfolio. But the strategic system designer designs system that solves multiple problems together, connects problems into systems, creates scalable solutions, proactive. How do you do that? Let us see. System thinking is seeing connections between problems, understanding impact, and designing integrated solutions. What combined problem am I solving? System thinking is see connections first, that is your forte. Understand mechanics, how it is going to be doing tracing cause, effect, and impact, and then design integrated solutions, building scalable multi-point fixes. Problem integration map is like the first list the problems you see daily. Step 2 is connect, identify connections between those problems. Step 3 is group them according to their class, like what type of problems they are creating, what kind of challenges they have. By that, you can group all those things. At the end of it, you might get, say, 3, 4 groups, and that makes your bird eye view that much stronger. And then name the combined problem. When you group all those problems into groups, then it becomes fewer. You by nature you are kind of putting them together in one group. So you have to solve by nature, not by numbers. So what step you take? First is the list, then connect, then cluster, then name. So action will be daily problems, connections, systems, combined problem. Example will be the daily problems will be waste, cost, delays. Connections will kind of establish how waste is connected to cost and then inefficiency. Then clustering means you design systems that will use resources and is operational. And then the combined problem is solved with resource efficiency. I call that as resource influencing. The problem integration map is this. It lists problem you see daily, then identify connection, then it clusters them and names the combined problem. So the mid-career professionals who says, I solve individual problems, then he is an execution person. And when somebody says, I design interconnected solutions, then that person is a strategic person. He might not be expert in something, but he can see the connections. That is important for you as the strategic person. You have to see the overarching goal, overarching vision. That is your expertise. And you see that all through, despite one factor or more than one factor gets dislocated. Even then, you see that connection all through. It is never out of your sight. So, daily self inquiry will be what problems I am dealing with today. How are these problems related? What larger system do these belong to? How can I present this as a high value solution? And what is the combined problem? In practice, making the chaos is waste, resource gaps, cost inefficiency, delays. I solve individual problems and I see connected solutions. Resource inefficiency in a non-sustainable system. Now the ocean cities thinking, which I was talking of in the beginning, a powerful real world application of this framework. So step 1 is what problems am I dealing with today? Step 2 is connect how are these problems related? Expand what larger system do these belong to? what is the combined problem, and position is as how can I present this as a high value solution. My thing is the ocean city dream, how it will convert to the to a high value solution so as to solve the uh, global planetary problem, and it will make a calmer, cooler, cleaner, greener, richer planet. So the individual thing is I work on waste management. So some professionals will be in waste management. The combined problem is I design integrated systems that convert waste into energy, food, and sustainable infrastructure. Do you see the connection? Elements of the framework, systems thinking, seeing interdependencies, not tasks. Then global issue mapping, connecting work to climate, food, water, waste. Then pattern recognition, noticing repeated inefficiency and recurring problems. Then sustainability basics is understanding resource cycles, circular economy, environmental impact. All this bring to strategic clarity, turning complexity into clear, communicable insights. Execution mindset is I complete tasks, and the leadership mindset is I design systems that solve multiple problems together. So the old ways is waste management, the new way is waste, plastic, energy, agriculture, water. Instead of saying I work on waste management, the reframe becomes I am working on integrated resource systems that converts waste into energy, food, and sustainable infrastructure. How profound is that? That is the synthesis of ocean cities reframing. A function based professional versus a system level thinker driving green impact. Now, the leadership transformation. You are no longer a function based professional, you become a system thinker driving green impact. Am I solving a task or designing a system? High value leadership begins when you stop solving problems separately and start solving them together. High value leadership begins when you stop solving problems separately and start solving together. Do you see what we are aiming at and why I am dreaming of ocean cities? Because it is solving multiple problems at the same time. That is my biggest why. And I discover it at the end of this presentation. And it also has kind of consolidated the self belief that I am on the right path. If you want to discuss about this furthermore, you can always reach out to me by commenting energy or greener planet or anything. Any comment will do so that we connect and discuss it for you so that you become a real leader who works on their significance and goes on to create their legacy for the well being of the planet as a whole. Thank you for watching.